Hello everybody, my name is Ratnos, and today we have new class tuning coming in. So, with scheduled weekly maintenance on September 10th, we're going to reduce the effectiveness of a few new class tier sets that would otherwise overperform relative to our targeted values. We will also increase the baseline damage of the affected specs to account for the tier set tuning. We will then look forward to additional tuning that we will develop during Heroic Week, which will address anything needed for PvP, Mythic Plus, and Mythic Rating on September 17th. So basically, they're putting us on notice that there will likely be tuning announced in a week that will take effect on the 17th. Here are the changes for September 10th. Unholy, all damage increased by 5%, and the 4-piece is being nerfed in half to 4% haste from 8% if you had full stacks of it. My suspicion is that this is, even with the set bonus, probably a net buff, but it may be close and definitely be a huge better until you get your set bonus. Blood, all ability damage increased by 5%. The 4-piece is saying damage increased by 0.5% per bone shield charge was 1% here. So you could have up to 12 bone shield charges, which would be a 6% damage increase. So this is slight nerf if you're at 11 or 12 bone shield charges, a buff below that. But you do try and be at that many charges mostly, so probably a slight nerf to blood once you do get 4-piece here. Not hugely different. Havoc Demon Hunter, all ability damage increased by 4%, and the 4-piece is being nerfed in terms of the damage to Chaos Strike by 40%, right? 40% less. 12% is 60% of 20%. Now reduces Fury cost of Blade Dance by 30%, was 50% as well. So, yeah, moderate nerfs to the set bonus, 4% all ability damage buff. Vengeance, all ability damage increased by 3%. The 2-piece is what's being nerfed for Vengeance. Their Soul Cleave damage is being reduced to 10%, was 15%, and Soul Cleave has a 25% chance to shatter one lesser soul fragment, was 35%. Notably, this slows down the spec as a whole, the spec self-healing, and also this has hero talent interactions as well that's going to slow down there too. I think if they're playing Aldrachi Reaver, that's going to slow down that cycle too. And this is also one of the smaller buffs here as well. Interesting. Dev Evoker, all ability damage being increased by 3%. The 2-piece is being nerfed from a 10% damage increase to these abilities to a 6% damage increase. And for Dev, these abilities, either Disintegrate in single target or Pyre and AoE, are a lot of your damage. And the 4-piece says Eternity Surge's cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds, was 5. So a couple less Eternity Surges over the fight. This would have been more relevant if Animosity hadn't been changed to be capped on how much total cooldown reduction you could get. Since it has been, this probably doesn't change too much. It's not going to change your Dragon Rage uptime or anything. Shaman, all ability damage increased by 2%, but the 2 set is being nerfed by a lot here. This is a 60% nerf to the value of the 2 set. Enhance had there were some sims recently that have Enhance doing big damn. I suspect that this is going to help make that, I mean, I suspect their damage is still going to be good if those sims were anywhere close to accurate. They were like at the top of the pack, even at in the Arcane Mage conversation. But yeah, with this nerf coming into their set bonus and a pretty small compensation buff here, I suspect that we're looking at Enhance being instead, middle top of the pack, something like that, rather than top of the pack. Okay, so those are the changes here. Good philosophy. I think it makes sense. I always dislike when the power of set bonuses varies wildly from one spec to another. Obviously, it sometimes happens, but to the extent that it can be reduced, especially before these set bonuses are actually in our hands, especially because all the set bonuses are boring anyways, pretty much, I think that's a good thing. And I think doing some compensation buffs is very nice rather than just doing the nerfs. So I like seeing that. And I'm definitely liking the communication about expecting some tuning during Heroic Week as well. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit of a short one here, but I just wanted to get something out with these notes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Real quick, apparently I was wrong about Enhance. Apparently it's the 4-piece, not the 2-piece, that is super OP for them. The 2-piece is for a pretty small set of their damage, apparently. So this may actually not really have changed their overall. This may be net neutral or so for them, in which case Yeah, big damn likely for enhancement if the simulations are accurate, which you never know. Anyways, GN.